Good morning, everybody. Alright, everything's set. It's Thursday, July 20th, and we're back at it again. Late start to the morning. I was watching another streamer. So yes, people who stream their trades can still be watching other people who stream their trades. And just a quick shout out to Alpha FX if you guys want to check him out. He's a very big fundamental trader, so he discusses fundamental news in depth and discusses some pretty simple sort of what would you say, not heuristics, but sort of formulas, like formulaic trading for inflationary and deflationary news, and then applies that to markets. And is he right all the time? Fuck no, of course not. But he does add an extra layer and depth to trading. It's not as simple as, oh, this is a red number and this is a green number that came out for something. So yeah, feel free to check him out. He's got a lot of knowledge with regards to this stuff. So that's the thing about trading, you're never done learning, and so there's always people you can learn from. And we're fortunate enough that he uploads free content. So yeah, feel free to check him out. He streams at the same time in the mornings. I think he starts at like 5 a.m. Pacific, so usually if I start at 5 a.m. he's on like half an hour, 15 minutes before I am. Anywho, today we have unemployment claims that just came out, slightly better than expected. Manufacturing index negative, and then we have some existing home sales coming out, as well as Japanese CPI. Interesting. Expected to stay the same. Look at them go. Look at that CPI value. They're killing it. British pound retail sales, and then some Canadian stuff tomorrow. Alright, let's take a look at our watch lists. I think I had already identified GBP as being our sort of primary sell this morning, as all the pairs are down. We just need to once again identify sort of where we'd like to get our entry. EURGBP is actually looking like he's doing a good job trending here. How's the euro doing? He's kind of a mixed bag, unfortunately. Only up on EURGBP and EURCHF. If we start from the top, the yen is a bit of a mixed bag as well. US dollar, sort of mixed. Canadian dollar, mixed. Euro is mixed. So when I say whether something's trending or not, if I'm looking at these watch lists, I'm paying attention just to see which of these pairs are congruent across all seven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, congruent across all 7. So here we have the euro. Everything is euro, starts with the euro. If I see it's red across the board, then I know the euro is doing poorly today. If I see it's green across the board, I know the euro is doing great today. And if it's a mix between green and red, I know it's a sort of a mixed day for the euro. And what I try to do is I then go say GBP. So we have 6 of these that start with GBP. GBP is the primary. And then here, GBPJPY is the secondary. So we can see that GBP in the primary is down across the board and the secondary is up, which suggests that GBP is doing poorly today. Across 7 major pairs, the 7 largest pairs, it is down across the board. So at least today, we could be looking at a sell for a continuation of this daily trend. As we know, it's weak today. And some of these are a bit more mixed. And by that I mean, like, you look at the US pairs and you have 3 primary US and 4 secondary US. So you're just trying to find congruency across all the pairs, at least if you want to trade this style of trading, where you look at the daily bias. That's sort of it. It's just like a daily bias. Like, what's the daily bias? Is the daily bias bullish or bearish, or is it some sort of mixed signal? People try to do the daily bias for when they trade just a single pair. It's like, oh, the daily bias for GBPUSD is bearish. But like, how do you know for sure? Maybe the US dollar is just doing really poorly or really well. You need to compare it to its other pairs to know, or even use the basket, like the world currency unit. If you've never used those, you could use the world currency unit. Your world currency unit is similar to DXY, like it's just a tracking symbol that tracks, like DXY tracks the basket of US dollar. So if DXY is doing well, chances are the US dollar is doing well. Alright, so just across the board, and then looks like the Australian dollar is doing well today as well. So just because something is doing well today doesn't necessarily mean we're going to trade it, unless we find a decent that is, unless we find a good, wow, stuttering, market structure pattern. There we go. Wow, words escape me sometimes. If we find a proper pattern for something, so we see that the Australian dollar is up today, it doesn't mean we want to willy-nilly trade it. We want to identify a pattern, and we can look at these percentages to see which one is the strongest. So for example, AUDCHF is doing the strongest today. It's up 1.07%. These values change depending on which of these pairs you look for. So like if I look up AUDCHF, what I mean is there's Forex.com, Oanda, sorry, this is FXCM, Oanda, Forex.com. They'll all give slightly different evaluations for what the daily percentage change is, as well as the daily absolute value change, but they're roughly similar. At least the good ones are. If you have a really bad one, it's weird. I don't know where they get their numbers from. Okay. So in terms of sheer magnitude, GBPAUD is doing the worst, which makes sense because the British pound is significantly down today and the Australian dollar is up, so it makes sense that he's actually doing the worst today out of all the pairs. But in terms of actual market structure, it's kind of difficult to identify where might be a good level to get in. So we're going to kind of tab him. We're going to tab EUROG, because he does seem to have a good, some sort of decent market structure. And then we're going to hop over to our 28 Forex pair and the hourly, and we're just going to quickly breeze through, see if we can identify any long-term trends. There we go, there's one, AUDCHF. Price is at this trend line level. Previous top as well as bottom at this market structure level here. Could be a good opportunity for a sell. We'll continue on, but again, that's against the daily bias of the Australian dollar. The Australian dollar is quite bullish today, so that long-term trend would suggest we should get into a sell. Hi, Luna. My dog has come to say hi. She's a little rascal. She's waiting for mom to come back from a run so she could take her out for a walk. Yeah, are you waiting for mom to come back? Are you? Oh. She just wants attention. Apparently to puke. Okay. Nice bullish momentum still on CHF. JPY. There she is. Go see mom. Go see her. Go. Yeah. It's the funniest thing. No, I won't mention it. Never mind. It might be too personal. Okay. Not too bad, but nothing super significant. I think that's it. Yeah, not much on the hourly there. Again, just looking back at this first watch list, we go back to the 5 minute. I would say the ones we're focusing on are EUROGBP, just because I like the market structure, and the British pound is doing quite poorly. The only negative side of this is that the euro is not necessarily super strong today. It's just stronger than the British pound, and it just happens to be setting up. So that's one. And then GBPAUD, again, don't really like the market structure on this, but it's just such a weak pair today that once it reaches a nice resistance, it could just continue lower, or it could reverse, you know? So those are the two on the watch list today. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be streaming again tomorrow. Peace. Have a good one.